All right. It's a great day in South Florida. My name is Chris Igo. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. And if you're a returning viewer, then I appreciate your participation in our journey. And today we are getting right into it because the liquidity crisis is destroying home buyers in the housing market. So if learning more about that is your thing, then please keep watching. Boom, we're live. So today I want to start with the phone call that I received from a client who had previously hired me to go out there, find their dream home, find their dream lifestyle. And the reason for that move is they had outgrown their home. And while they have a very nice home that worked well for them at the time, they had just totally outgrown it. The kids are getting older, the dog is getting older, they're both working from home, and they're feeling confined and trapped by the amount of space in the home, which honestly is not uncommon. A lot of families outgrow their home. And in other times in their life cycle of owning the home, they may have too much home. So it's totally predictable and not uncommon for a family to outgrow a home. And then conversely, it's not uncommon for them to need to downsize or want to downsize. And it's going to be need-based in some instances. It's going to be want-based in other instances. But I'm sharing this particular example and this particular story because the liquidity crisis destroyed this family's ability to get what they want. And the fear and uncertainty that they experienced in the market paralyzed them from being able to make a decision in spite of the fact we had gotten them exactly what they said they wanted. But they got overwhelmed and they got paralyzed and they did not take action. And now they don't have the option. So to give a little bit more context and a little bit more clarity, at the height of the buyer frenzy, when interest rates were very low and it was a total and complete seller's market, where they had all the leverage and they had all the power and they got to take the pick of the litter from all of the buyers who were willing to do whatever it took in order to get their dream home, which is not what the market is right now. But it is what it was back then, in the very recent past. But to give you full clarity around this situation, they had found me on YouTube and they desperately wanted a new home. But it would be contingent on the sale of their home, which is not the position that any buyer wanted to be in back in the heat and the frenzy of that market, because no seller was taking any type of home sale contingency in that market. Now, the good news for my clients is that this is not my first rodeo, and I know exactly how to position them to get them what they want, or what they said they wanted. And we did. And I'm providing this granularity to showcase exactly how much things have changed. Because in the heat of that moment, when interest rates were super low, they were able to go out there and buy their dream home, which in this example was a much bigger home with a much bigger backyard, with a pool, in an incredible community that has all the amenities, all the things that they wanted, and in the most optimal school zone for their growing family and their children. It literally checked all the boxes. But they also had a home to sell. And that was not a good position for them to be in the heat of those market conditions. But nonetheless, we got them exactly what they wanted. We found the home. In spite of that home seller about to be accepting a contract with another buyer, we went out there and worked our magic and got their contract accepted. And we played all the games that we needed to give them a competitive advantage in those market conditions. The moral of the story is we got it done. We got them under contract. And with mortgage interest rates at 3%, everything made sense financially. Or at least based on all the information that they gave to me, it made sense financially. Now, here's what you might not know about me. Prior to being a full-time real estate professional, boots on the ground, owner-operator of a high-performance real estate team, prior to that, I was a stockbroker for 18 years. And one of the main things that one must do as a financial advisor is get to know their customer to be able to determine suitable recommendations. Determining suitability of a client is a major part of my job description. Or at least it was. And I'll self-edit right now. It still is. It's the primary thing that I must know about any client that I work with. I need to know everything that there is to know about them and their finances, their needs, their wants, their goals, in order to provide them with the best information so they can go out there and make the best decisions for themselves, for their family, and for their financial bottom line as it relates to the housing market and the choices that they're going to make. But with this particular family, everything lined up. They had a need to be in a bigger home and we got them that home. But getting their dream home under contract, that was the hard part. Especially in that market, the much easier part was getting the home that they needed to sell under contract at the right price so that all of the numbers made sense and they could comfortably make the move. And we did that. We smashed a record in their subdivision. We found the one buyer on planet Earth willing to pay more than anybody else and waive every contingency so that they knew, and I'm talking about the seller, my client, knew they had almost zero risk in this transaction of them not closing. And so we protected them on both ends, but we got the job done. Or at least I thought we did. But what actually happened was, as we were reviewing the 50 contracts that we had received, and I was working my magic to negotiate the best deal for my sellers, they freaked, they panicked. And they went from telling me everything that there is to know about their situation to telling me nothing, which was completely inconceivable to me, given that I had done every single thing that they said they wanted. Nonetheless, they panicked and they canceled both contracts. So they didn't move forward and get the thing they said they wanted. And honestly, that was fine. I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense to me, but I never want somebody to do anything that they don't want to do. And so we parted as friends, and I wished them well and let them know that if they ever needed anything, we were always here to help. Now, fast forward a few months, and I just got the phone call asking, can we replicate those results and get the same deal right now? Can I wave my magic wand and go get them a 3% loan, 3% financing, and get their dream home in the same neighborhood at the same price with all the same terms and the same thing on their sale? Well, I don't have a magic real estate wand that I'm able to wave and make everything happen. I probably could replicate the results on both the buy and sell side. What I can't replicate the results of is of the interest rates, which have gone through the roof. And yes, there are strategies. Yes, I can use leverage and probably negotiate a seller buy down, which would lower their interest rate. I can't bring it down low enough to make the numbers work for them. And so for now, they're stuck. And the liquidity crisis has destroyed their ability to get what they want. And the fear and uncertainty that exists right now paralyzed them into being able to make the best decision for them. And that sucks, but it's happening everywhere. Across the board nationally, 64,000 home purchase contracts were canceled in August. And again, that's a lagging indicator. That's not a current number. I'm sure that number has increased dramatically. And REDFIN confirms these trends. North of 15% of homes that went under contract canceled in August. And that percentage has been right around 15% for the last 3 months. But to give you some context on that, pre-pandemic, that number of cancellations was typically around 12%. But with interest rates skyrocketing and breaking 7%, and the payment associated with those loans increasing by 45%, but there are a metric ton of buyers out there who missed the boat because they were paralyzed by fear. And unfortunately, I don't see the fear and uncertainty metric downticking anytime soon unless everyone takes personal responsibility and empowers themselves with the best information so that they can go out there and make the best decisions for themselves, for their family, and for their financial bottom line. And mortgage rate volatility is the highest since 1987. And now I'm going to take off my realtor hat for a second and put on my stockbroker hat for a second, because every market to me is interconnected, because every market has an impact on the psychology of every consumer. Now, I know that real estate is a lagging indicator, meaning the market doesn't price in instantly the changes that are happening everywhere else. But the stock market does. And the stock market has been getting totally eviscerated. The stock market trades. So one of the perspectives that I would have with every client when analyzing a position or an investment that they had made is completely divorce themselves from the price that they paid for the stock and ask them to analyze, knowing everything that they know about the company right now, would they buy it today? And if the answer was yes, then typically we would add to our position. But if the business fundamentals had changed and the fundamentals of the company no longer made sense, and knowing everything that there is to know about that company right now, they would not buy it, then 9 times out of 10, we would sell, because fundamentally it made no sense. And that's what we're about to experience right now as we head into the third quarter earnings. And everything that I've been talking about as far as reading the tea leaves of what's happening in terms of economic changes as it relates to big business is coming true. And we've seen FedEx miss big time, and Nike miss big time, and CarMax miss big time. But the earnings season just started, and you can already see the big retailers like Amazon and like Walmart and like Target are downsizing fast because of the inflationary environment that we're in, which absolutely is the Fed's plan, which absolutely will create job loss, which will absolutely tank the economy. And again, I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm saying it to prepare you. And irrespective of economic or market conditions, people will still buy and sell homes because they have to. All right, so most of the data that's out there as far as real estate and housing markets are concerned is super lagging. But right now in my market at the beginning of October, I've got a snapshot of what it is today versus last month and last year. And so for the month right now, which just started, homes for sale is up 3.5%. The number of homes sold is down 99%. And pending sales are down 81%. And month to date versus a year ago look very similar. Compared to a year ago, the percentage changes aren't as dramatic, but they're still not good, depending on what side of the market you're on. And it's always good for someone, so keep that in mind. But homes for sale are up 88.5%, solds are down 25%, and pending are down 26%. And that's where the market's at right now. I hope you found this content valuable, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. If you've got any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments below, and I will get to you right away. Now, if you're outside of my market and you're looking for a real estate or mortgage professional that we know, like, and trust, that can serve and support you at the highest level no matter where you're at, irrespective of market conditions, then please opt in for a referral, and we'll get you set up right away. And you'll be able to find that link in the video up here or in the comments down below. And if you're unfamiliar and want to learn about every city that exists within South Florida, then please opt in for our free city/relocation guide, which will tell you everything that you want to know about every city within South Florida. And please check out the videos down below because I suspect that you will love them a lot. And keep your eyes peeled for my next video because it's coming out soon. And until next time,